Thank you for joining me in this dance in terms of focusing on multidimensional transformation. So before we go anywhere, I'd like us to connect with ourselves more fully. So just be an awareness to start with in terms of how you're doing. So you can think in terms of we have 4 bodies. We have our physical body, our emotional body, mental body, and energy body. Check into those 4. Rather than doing a bunch of spewing forth, I'll do some of that, But what I'd like to do is do some transformational work with you during this call. So let's ask for this high being that can help to align all these bodies. Some people call him the Mahatma, not Gandhi or any of those gurus, just a very high being. So just allow your 4 bodies to be aligned and balanced. Go into sacredness a little more. So you're test driving. Some things that I say won't fit for you. Some of them will. So let go of the ones that don't fit. So let's do a little bit of sacred geometry. It's a method from, I don't know how long, 3,000 years ago or so, 2,500, 3,000. Or more. Imagine being put in a Merkaba. So you can think of the Star of David. So it's one triangle and another one inverted. They're over each other. Just test drive. Put one hand, your left hand preferably, on your heart chakra. Breathe in and out through there. Be with me. So you could choose to think of this as connecting with Christ's energy, Christ consciousness. Or you could choose to think of this as connecting with Krishna consciousness or Buddha nature. One of the biggest connections between us and the universe, us and spirit, us and God, if you will, is through the heart chakra. Breathe in and out through there. Go into a place of peace. This is gang that's done piles of research in relation to heart chakra, if you will, in part, the heart mass. And what they found using ancient spiritual methods, especially Theravada Buddhist ones, early Buddhism, is that as we connect with our heart more fully, it connects with our brain. And the various parts of our brain go into a place of entrainment, in place of being in sync. As we connect with our heart more fully, our body goes into peace. So for those of you who struggle with illness and etc., you can choose to bring healing energy, compassion to the parts of you that are sick. So part of the principle is that the more we go into higher vibration, the more we can heal whatever. Anxiety, depression, possibly healing illness, but not necessarily, because it may be orchestrated for that not to change because it's useful for us, etc. And one of the things we've learned is that we can go with entrainment, do entrainment with the world. And it helps to change the world. So heart chakra in relation to your loved ones. I'm going to do a little bit of stuff, a little bit of bibbity bobbity boo as you do this. So one of the issues is that you stay focused on this. One of the issues is that our galactic cord can get damaged. So let's ask to repair your galactic cord. That's from the heart chakra up to the universe, up to the divine, if you will. That's to upgrade our seventh chakra. 1,000-petaled lotus, so more of the petals open. That's to repair our heart chakra. As you're doing this, I'm going to read you a quote. Overall, the journey of healing is to let go of the negative energies that block the expression of our innate happiness and joy. When the clouds are removed, the sun shines forth. So this very much relates to the perspective that we're already in light. It's just that they need to clear the clouds. So this is from David Hawkins. Some of you may know him, know of him. So imagine removing clouds over your head. Can have clouds especially at the the third layer of our aura, the mental layer of our aura. Imagine clearing that. Collective consciousness, etc. Clear the various layers. There can be gunk in each of those layers. Be aware of how you're doing. Clearing the heart chakra. If we, not if, we have layers that are hidden from us or that may be totally obvious to us in terms of unresolved anger, in terms of fear of getting hurt, etc. Guilt. Guilt at the heart. Oh, I hurt that person so badly, I can't forgive myself, for example. More healing energy goes into your heart chakra. Imagine the healing going to the various aspects of your heart chakra and healing those things. I ask for Kuan Yin, the goddess Kuan Yin, to help with that, as well as Christ energy. Maitreya Buddha, the future Buddha of compassion. One of the things that can happen to us is we can carry uh, energy from other people. So their anger, their fear. One of the crucial things, well, they're all crucial, but one of the things that I see that most people do not help to heal, most healers don't go there. So I'll go there with you. Think in terms of what was going on for many of you, what was going on during your mother's pregnancy with you, and the first year and a half of life, so the bonding time, incubator. So it carries the energy in terms of both parents and the context. If there were any difficulties, somebody didn't approve of the relationship, there was illness, money difficulties, etc. Somebody didn't want the pregnancy. That's to heal all of that. Lords of Karma, Archangel Michael, Claire. So we're healing your parents' trauma from before they came together, from when they were small. So part of it is going further back as well. We're healing ancestral trauma. So that's not only in our heart chakra, partly it can be there, but it's also in our DNA, cellular level. Clear. Hmm. I can see feel a relaxing more fully now. So clearing their dense energy, mothers, fathers, from your field, from during the pregnancy, from during the first year and a half of life, which is a crucial time for bonding, for our being able to connect in the world. So connect in terms of love life, but also it affects our mission, our ability to, in terms of work and so on. So I have a confession to make. So I tried to prepare for this call and organize things and so on. And I checked with guidance. No, Remy, no. So I tried again. Remy, sit. So no, so I have to go with guidance, with spirit. So this is what we got today. So I'm guided to talk with you about ACE a little bit right now. Adverse childhood experiences. So that means in the first 18 years of our life, there's piles of research that shows that people who've gone through various difficulties are the family. So family separation, parent was depressed or anxious or various difficulties, sexual abuse, neglect, and so on. The more of those we have, the more we're likely to be in difficulty in terms of life, in terms of money, in terms of work, in terms of physical health. Piles of studies on that. So all of us have, our families have experienced difficulties of one kind or another. There's no such thing as perfection. And we chose to incarnate there. So let's do a tiny bit in terms of this. So some of that is in our aura. Lords of Karma, Archangel Michael, clear the etheric layer of our aura. Emotional, mental, Buddhic, atmic, galactic, and so forth. Some of it's at the cellular level. Clear that. We just did some of that. Some of this we developed, we learned very strong maps in terms of how life is. Life is dangerous. For example, So let's ask for solar light to clear these negative thoughts. This piece does not, the various work that we do helps to transform layers of trauma, various flavors from this life, past life, ancestral, etc., collective consciousness, just and it's gone. This method here is wonderful, but it only clears for the moment. But it's useful for you to know. Let's ask for solar light to clear the mental layer and emotional layer in terms of I'm unworthy, in terms of life can't be trusted, in terms of I hate my life, in terms of I hate God, I'm terrified of God, or whatever it might be. So they'll do a little bit of clearing regarding that now. There's some research that says, not a lot, but there's some research that says that people who go through sizable difficulties are able to go, not all obviously, many are able to go to higher levels of consciousness than if they had a more stable, normal life, let's call it. So we chose to incarnate into that. Some of it is leftover luggage, so let's ask to heal some of that at the soul level. Lords of Karma, Archangel Michael, unicorn energy. Hmm. Hmm. Stay with it a little bit. Hmm. People that you feel have hurt you, really hurt you, whether you're with your twin flame, connected to your twin flame and devastated, you're devastated, or childhood, or somebody sexually abused you when you were whatever age, etc. So heal this at the soul level. Heal this at the heart chakra, broken heart. Heal this for your inner child. Lower three chakras. All in your belly. Probably everybody knows, but in case. Mother Mary healing more fully into your inner child as well. It's felt better rather than spewing forth. Everybody likes to say how wonderful their work is and that their work is better than everybody else. It's typical, especially people who develop a particular model, you know. But it's very common. So it's our ego. Our ego says, I'm better, I'm the best rooster than anybody, right? So that's the lower part of us, obviously. And I'm it's not one of my things that I'm really into. So it's important for people to know, people who are interested, to know this is what we do. But rather than spewing forth and saying I'm a great rooster, which you know, very imperfect, better for you to experience things, the various aspects, and so on. That's what we're doing now. So I'll talk a little bit about our work now, just a little bit. Now we'll do some more clearing work. Uh, assuming we have time, I'll focus on sacred relationships some, and then maybe on a parent-child issue. We'll see. So part of what our work does is helps people to heal trauma. Heal trauma, focus on ascension, going to higher level relationship, like sacred relationship, twin flame, soulmate, etc., and mission. So whatever people are interested in, our job is to help people to remove blockages so they can be more fully in their light. So there's greater likelihood of well, ascension, obviously, happens in the process, but greater likelihood of getting what we want in the 3D world, and there's no guarantee because the universe dances with us in such a way that they keep putting challenges in our way and so forth. So we can say, God willing, you know, I'd like a Mercedes Benz or whatever it is, right? So there's this song from the 70s. Many of you are probably too young for that. And the way it went was, "Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz?" And on it goes from there. So you think in terms of we have some needs and cravings, and as the Buddha said, suffering relates to our really wanting, our grasping, or pushing away. That's the cause of suffering. So we need to say, I really want particular things. I really want money so that I can do this. I really want to serve, etc. And we have to surrender it more fully. So going into manifesting, connecting with higher energies, and imagine it happening. You probably all know about that. So many people are talking about that now. And then we surrender the results and me and the divine, me and the universe, being in acceptance of what happens. But part of what can happen is that we have a curse from a previous lifetime. Oh no. So what are we going to do? And we're not aware of that, of course. Or we have an ancestral curse. Or we have a vow from a previous lifetime, a vow of poverty, or a vow of no love. So we have past life trauma. We got trauma from one of our subpersonalities is totally on strike because of what, you know what happened to me when I was 7 years old or 3 or whatever? We're on strike. And we can have a bunch of those layers and we're not conscious of it whatsoever. So it looks like maybe the divine doesn't want me to have a Mercedes Benz, uh, but we got gunk. So even though we clear layers, there's no guarantee because it's me and the divine more fully. Rumor has it that Christ did not drive a Cadillac. I don't know if that's true. You know what I mean? Slept in the forest and so on. Be as the birds and the lilies in the field, right? So be with the divine, or being in gratitude. So whatever challenges we have are an opportunity to go in more fully into, yes, thank you. And we clear various obstructions. And then thank you. And then we take a break and we go whatever you do, Netflix or you go for a walk or whatever it is. And then we do another layer of clearing. So we become lighter and lighter and lighter. So gradually we ascend. We are what's called our light quotient, what some people call our light quotient, goes up and up and up gradually. We become more and more fully light, and the degree of darkness that we carry gets less and less. That's the gig. That's part of what we do, part of what we teach. Okay. I'm going to go quiet for a few seconds and check in to see where I'm going, where I'm guided to go with you. Relationship. I'm going to show you in our webinar series called Multidimensional Transformation, we have a number of charts, and we teach people how to assess very precisely where they have blockages, and so then they can clear it. So I'm going to take you through a little bit of that in terms of relationship. I don't know what that means yet, so I don't know if it's relationship with yourself or with the divine or with a particular person or a combo. Don't know yet. So I'm going to use the pendulum. So we teach people how to very precisely assess and then very precisely how to clear from there. So you have more and more power, you have more and more light, less and less luggage, more and more potential to dance better and better with the universe. Okay. High beings, help for couples. Guided to work with particular high being. And I've got a sizable list here with 2 pages of various high beings. Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. These are from Hinduism. The creator, the preserver, and the destroyer. So part of what we need to do is to be in awareness that in sacred relationship, we can create more and more. And we need some place of refuge that's there for us. Uh, and then we need to surrender it if the other guy is not available, if they have a belief that I'm not supposed to give you anything, we're supposed to be independent. So you do your thing, or our relationship is in this area. Don't bug me in those other areas, right? So and relationship, sacred relationship, is destructive as well. It's a crucible that burns away our imperfections. So I'm going to do something regarding that. So I don't know what yet. So I'm going to go to this guy, Trusty, and I'm going to ask for more information. So you see, I can use my intuition to do that, but just showing you. I get other players. It's particularly interesting how so many people, most people on the spiritual path these days have such a hard time being in sacred relationship. It's just, boy, compassion, compassion. You got it to focus on twin flame. So, and I'm going to check in to see, I could use the pendulum, but I don't need to. Is it relating to the creator, preserver, the destroyer aspect? So the destruction of my ego and the other guy's ego. So I'll spew forth on this a little bit. You see how it goes, how you assess, you're guided by spirit. You can assess very, very precisely. Spirit, however you define that for yourself. And then we transmute from there, and it creates more space in the relationship, more space within you, between relationships within you, between your inner child and your inner male, for example, inner female, inner lover, etc. Okay, so the destroyer parts of our ego, so the parts of us that have whatever reaction, get depressed, that get anxious, they go into hatred, because they're not, life is so bad. So this relates to going into being a phoenix, as we call it, going into a place where our feathers get roasted by the divine. That's where I'm going. Yeah. Hmm. And our divine counterpart goes into reactiveness, their ego or their inner child or their whatever, because partly we said, no, I'm not going to do this with you. Doesn't matter how little you ask me, I'm not going to give you whatever it is, for example. So then we need to decide boundaries with the person. Do we want less of that relationship, or do we like, how do we handle this, or do we allow ourselves to get roasted, and etc. So that's the 3D level. Right now I'm guided to focus on the internal, the phoenix process in relation to our reaction. So we can say our ego, but that means a whole pile of different things, right? It's really a term based on, well, so what part of reactiveness or inner child? Stay focused on that one. So it's inner child in relation to the Joe over there, to that particular person. But really it boils down to reaction in relation to the divine. All of it's a dance between me and God. So I'm going there with you. So let's ask for, uh, give me a few seconds. I need some more guidance center. There are different variety of ways of doing it. It's just which one to do with you right now. Imagine your various sub-personalities going up a hill into greater light. And we ask for them to be transmuted. Clear some of the fear. Fear of being in the fires, right? Fear of not getting our needs met. Fear we're going to starve and die. It has to bring greater peace. So you in relation to your boss, you in relation to your twin flame, you in relation to whoever, your mother when you were 7 years old, whatever. Feel that more fully. Let's ask for help from Kuan Yin. I'm guided to ask for help from a variety of goddesses. So Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Lakshmi, Shakti, Kuan Yin on a dragon, Durga. That's enough. We sit in silence and basically we ask for the divine to work. As I told you, we have a whole list of high beings we work with. So different high beings do different things, have different specialties, if you will. I stay with it for a little bit. I spent decades, as you probably know, being on this call, who I am. So I've been in the helping field for just under 50 years now. Tried all kinds of things over time, all kinds of methods and so forth. And rather than saying when things didn't work out in terms of our clients, they weren't making progress. Rather than saying, well, obviously there's something, that client is pathological, let's give them a label or whatever. Instead of doing that, I said, let me look more deeply. What's there for me to learn here? How can I help more deeply? So I've had to go into more broader and broader and broader. So some of this weird stuff that I do, well, some are all, it's from there. Explorations and my refusing to say, well, this can't be changed, or it's the client's fault, or that other twin flame over there, their fault, or whatever. And the greater peace, and the greater sacredness. So whatever words you want to say, thank you so much, oh my Lord, for the challenges. So I have to grow up more and more and more and more. And then after that, what? More and more again. Oh, brother, right? But that's the gig. Okay. Come out of that when you're ready. I'm going to talk with you a little bit about a parent-child thing, and we'll do some clearing work. And and what the way I'm going to talk about it with you is multidimensional. So you don't have to have kids or want to have kids or anything like that. It just you get a feel for it. So I met this young dad this week. So a really good friend of mine introduced me, and he has a child who's 8 years old, and he saw his child really liking this rock song that had really dense negative wording. So the dad felt powerless because they're separate. The parents are separated, and so he went into a bunch of grieving and so forth. My child, who's so wonderful, a high vibration child. So he felt powerless. So there's a variety of issues there. The first one being he, the way he sees life, and he works as a healer, and the way he sees life is that I'm powerless. I can't do anything about this. All of a sudden, it handcuffs. So we need to say, what is there for me to learn? Let me go more deeply. So I'm going to clear some layers for you, with you, and even whether you have kids or not, or your kids are grown up, and then your kids are now 52 years old, and whatever, uh, you'll get a perspective in terms of what you can do in terms of clearing the parts of you that react, that feel powerless, and in terms of helping the world, etc. I have no idea what to do right now. There's all kinds of methods, approaches that we could use. I need to be quiet and behave. Rami, sit. Okay. So the first part is dad's reaction of powerlessness. So because the child lives mostly with the ex-wife over there, and she's obviously not doing the job, he's concerned that his child is going to become a mess. So, and his perception is that the divine's not helping also. So those are all under the surface. Probably he may not be conscious of any of that. So those things need to be cleared. So partly it's at the mental level. So as I scan in, some of it is past life related for him, is feeling powerless in terms of helping his children. Because we choose to incarnate in particular places, right? So there are things to learn rather than I'm a victim or my child's going to be a victim, etc. So we need to go into power and say, what can we do? So one of the aspects is clearing that perspective. So there's a number of areas for this, but one of them, as I feel as I get guided, is past life stuff. So Lords of Karma, Archangel Michael, clear his sense of powerlessness in relation to that child, his child dying in a previous lifetime. I could use the pendulum, etc. And you could buy into this or not. We could say for sure this is the case or probably not the case or whatever, but you go with guidance and I surrender and I serve. So let's just pretend it's true. This call is not about trying to convince you to particular perspectives or methods or whatever. Not it. Clear? Clear as guilt in relation with child. So the separation this lifetime, having in quotation marks, feeling he let down, disappointed his child. That's a sense of failure of his inner father. I could do the pendulum with all this, but I'll do it quickly. Hmm. Let's ask Archangel Michael to help upgrade his inner father. Hmm. One of the things he can do about his child, of course, is to teach him. A child is wise, he's beyond his 8 years old, and so you just teach him. See the impact, see how you feel when you listen to this kind of stuff, and is that where you want to go? Help him make decisions about it and blah, 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 etc. So partly you can protect him, though don't have some of the stuff in the house. But 8 years old, the child is in the world now to some degree or other, even if it were, the child doing homeschooling or whatever it might be, our child gets exposed to the world. Hmm. And as we all know, this is the best of times, this is the worst of times, as the man said. So clear between him and his child at the soul level. So let's ask to connect the two souls. And part of what I'm feeling is this child reassures him. And imagine his reassuring the child. And if you need, and letting your child know, if you need my help, I'm here for you. Uh, and I really appreciate, you being clear with me in terms of you liking some things or lower grades so I can help you and etc. Right? A whole bunch of different potential things there. So we're clear between them in relation to previous lifetimes. I think that's all I need to say for now. So there's a whole bunch of different places so we can clear the dense energy that the child is experiencing. So you could, for example, you can clear the energy in terms of the school, just like for you. You can clear the energy in terms of where you work. Clear the energy of particular people. Clear energies in terms of previous tenants, etc. So we teach all of that. For those of you who may be interested in going further, we teach all of these things in our webinar series that's starting next week, Multidimensional Transformation. So we'll send you information shortly, and you can choose to check it out if you're interested. Rather than going into boasting or whatever that I'm pretty crappy at anyway. It's not my thing. We just give you a money back guarantee. So if it doesn't fit, then okay. Let me see if there's something else I want to say or if we're done. Give me a few seconds. Greater peace within you. The particular challenges that I'm experiencing, some of it I can't fix, some of it I can. Let me go towards helping to create a new worth. So I need to go into higher vibration, and I need to, how can I help other people to go into higher vibration? What's my mission? So that mission is one aspect, relationship is an aspect. Our trauma and various other challenges, they're part of a booster energy to really push us towards ascension. So it feels like the worst of sometimes. It feels like the worst of all and everything sometimes. And it's also the best of times. We have great potential now spiritually, more than ever. Let's go into a place of appreciation before we wrap up in a few seconds. Thank you so much for the challenges. I feel terrified. I feel imprisoned in some ways, and et cetera, et cetera. And let me work at clearing the various layers more and more profoundly. I have a hard time with bosses, or have a hard time with relationship with my sacred beloved, etc. Greater peace more and more deeply. Okay, that's all. If you have questions about our work, you can choose to email us as well, quantumunion.com or twinflamehealers.com. Thank you so much for taking the time. If you have feedback, I'd love to hear from you. So I'm going to leave this on for 2 minutes, and you can choose to respond if you want to send something longer or something later then you can choose to email us. Namaste.